On the first leg of the program this morning, let me see if I can do something about my microphone. Yeah. On the first leg of the program, we're looking at Grapho Pharmacy, Emerging Frontiers in Healthcare Management. And we're doing this because for quite a while, we've been having Dikpo McJob, Nigeria's foremost graphologist and non-verbal intelligence expert, come to talk to us and, of course, teach a whole lot on this program on how we can maximize graphology for nation building. Well, I guess his talks and, of course, his advocacy is yielding lots of fruits, because this morning I have two graduates from his teaching, so to say. Joining me in the studio this morning, I have pharmacist Omokafe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a pharmacist Omokafe Mary Ashori. Okay,
yes,
all right.
Yes.
Madam, nice to have you in the building. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're a member of the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria?
Yes, I'm the National Secretary of
great.
the Association of Community Pharmacists.
Great. It's nice to have you in the building.
Thank you.
All right. Joining her as well is a pharmacist, Oluwaseyi Oluwole Charles. He is also another member of that particular association.
Thank you.
Pharmacist Oluwole Charles, good morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. Good morning.
Great. All right. So, both of you, how was the journey here? Mary, let's start with you.
Very cool, stress-free. The roads were free. I came in from Ifakojai.
Okay, so it was very, very smooth.
Very smooth.
And Oluwole Charles?
Yeah, I come from Mowe Bafuasis. Very clear as well and very, very fantastic.
All right. Okay, so this morning we're looking at Grapho Pharmacy as an emerging frontiers in, health management and all of that. So I need you to just talk to our listeners. What is Grapho Pharmacy all about? Mary, let's start with you.
Okay. Like you said, it's an emerging frontier in health management system. Grapho Pharmacy combines two things: the study of handwriting and modern medicine. What we can define is as a proactive, integrated healthcare management system.
Okay.
That combines and leverages on the fundamental principles of graphology and conventional Western medicine to achieve patient-centered care.
Right. So is this a homegrown solution?
What do you mean by homegrown?
Well, maybe this is something that we're coming up with in Nigeria just to help us out, or
graphology has been on since the beginning of time.
Right.
And graphopharmacy is new.
Okay, so it's an emerging trend.
Yes, it is.
All right. Pharmacist Charles Oluwole, what is the difference between graphopharmacy and graphology?
Okay, so to put it in a layman language, I would like to say, like, graphology is like a foundation, and graphopharmacy is just an offshoot of graphology. So graphology has been with us over the years. It's almost as old as history itself. It's been known from Greece, from Roman Empire, and the graphology typically has to do with the analysis of handwriting to be able to know the behavioral character. It's been used in many ways, like in forensic, in criminology, right, and to know. But the graphopharmacy actually deal with the using of handwriting analysis to detect, diagnose, and manage health problems. Just like pharmacist Mary said, is an offshoot. Is a new trend,
right?
But it has to do with how we can now explore the knowledge of graphology to treat our patients.
So, are you saying that by looking at somebody's handwriting, you can detect if he has any health challenge?
That is one of the most interesting I've ever come. I want to say a shout out to our coach, that is pharmacist McJob. When he first talked about it, he said that handwriting is actually, what you see on handwriting is actually not handwriting. It's a brain writing.
Okay.
So what you are writing is actually not, it comes from your whole body, from the brain. So you can actually deduce from the handwriting of the person, is this person well? So is there any underlying health condition?
So it can detect if I have malaria, if I have or signs that are showing that I'm feverish.
Not in that perspective. Okay. Not in that perspective. But other areas of health conditions, like in cognitive health, mental health, or even a pain or somehow some discomfort is on part of your body,
right?
Even in the organs.
All right. So, madam,
yes,
what is the benefit? Let's look at the benefit of graphopharmacy to a nation like Nigeria?
The benefits of grapho. Well, first of all, we look at the grapho diagnosis. That grapho diagnosis is when you use your handwriting, you study the handwriting, and you can detect, first of all, using graphology to detect mental health assessments that are needed. From the handwriting, you can study if somebody is stressed. And in the workplace, someone that is stressed will not flow properly. With grapho pharmacy,
right?
With grapho pharmacy, for a nation like Nigeria, when we look at employment,
okay,
when people are happy at work, you expect work to move very well. You expect positive results. But grapho pharmacy actually speaks to mental health assessment.
Right.
So someone who has a little challenge, you will detect it from the handwriting. And then workplace will not be so easy for every other member of that establishment.
Right.
So it will affect their output.
So there's a whole lot that we can gain as a nation.
Of course.
From grapho pharmacy.
Of course.
All right. Now, this gospel, it's being championed by the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, right?
Yes, please.
So what are you guys doing? I mean, you guys have learned from this. How many of you have been trained?
So far, we have the second cohort. We had the graduation, like you said. The first cohort graduated 3 community pharmacists.
Okay.
The second graduated 24. But
wow.
Please mind you, out of the 24, or rather graduated 14 out of 24.
Oh, 14 out of the 24.
Out of the 14, we have community pharmacists from Rwanda, from Ghana, and Kenya.
Wow.
Yes, it wasn't only a Nigerian affair.
Wow, that's very interesting. All right, so what plans are you guys making? What was the plans for the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, to get more people into this grapho pharmacy space?
Yeah, thank you, sir. I want to talk about awareness. I'm here today already creating awareness so that other community pharmacists will key into grapho pharmacy. You understand? Because they need to understand how it works. It's non-invasive. Just merely studying the handwriting of your patient and you can have clear diagnosis. So we are looking at creating awareness. We are looking at collaborating with our coach. That's the grapho pharmacist Mark Job.
All right.
So he'll create training programs for our members. We're looking at complete certification of grapho pharmacy. We're looking at mentorship programs where we can pair those interested in grapho pharmacy with already graduated grapho pharmacists. Which is
very, very good. So at the moment, let's even look at your membership strength as Community Pharmacists of Nigeria.
Yeah.
What does the membership strength look like?
We're above 7,000 presently.
In Nigeria?
Yes, sir.
That's huge. Wow. So lots of members.
Yes.
And you're looking at how most of them can plug into grapho pharmacy?
I tell you, they need to. We are already talking to our council members, the National Executive Council members. This comprises the chairmen and secretaries of all the states in Nigeria. So we're looking at them bringing up members so that we can have online training just like we had. You understand? Online training so we can reach a larger number of community pharmacists.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so messages are coming in here for you guys already. Lagos Traffic Radio, 96.1 FM. We're looking at grapho pharmacy as an emerging frontiers for health management in Nigeria. And I have 2 great minds in the studio. They are taking us through this. This one here says, good morning, TJIF. This is a great topic. I want to ask the pharmacists in the studio, are insurance companies in Nigeria recognizing grapho pharmacy yet?
All right.
Eniola is sending that one in.
Okay, so let me speak to that for now. We can see that grapho pharmacy is an emerging trend, And of course, we will get there. Presently, there is still no such arrangement, but we are telling you that the first leg of this is to ensure that the professional themselves actually get to know and have the knowledge of this and how to impart it. Then we can be talking of the services from the HMOs and the insurance.
All right. Another one here say, good morning, Traffic Radio. Can Graphopharmacy help optimize drug dosage? You didn't put your name, but thank you so much. Is this something that one can use in future for dosage?
We can use it in medicine adherence. In adherence.
Okay.
You understand? Yes.
It actually can do that.
Okay. As time goes on.
Yeah.
So it will be able to help out.
Very well.
All right.
Well. Yes, because you'll be able to detect an overdosage from your handwriting.
All right. This one here says, hello, please, I'm curious, how do patients generally respond when introduced to Graphopharmacy?
Oh, all right.
Bosun, thank you so much.
Okay, so
I mean, you guys must have done some kind of.
Yes, we have.
Let me speak to that. Let me just give you an example of what happened, a practical example during my training. So our coach gave us an assignment to get the handwriting of some of our colleagues and the people around us, and then I got some around me, and eventually as the training goes on, I got to analyze those handwriting, and I get to know that one of the people that did the assignment for me were actually having a depression, was almost going to depression from the handwriting. So
you mean it?
Yes. I diplomatically consulted him, and I say, please, can you please speak to me? I noticed this and this from what you helped me do and from your analysis of the handwriting. Do you know what the man said?
Wow.
He looked at me and he said, the person that is teaching you this must actually done a fantastic work.
Wow.
He said, because that is exactly what I'm passing through. In fact, he was almost resorting to a suicide.
Wow.
I had to just encourage him and do this and say, this is, all of us are passing through this together. We understand how Nigeria is. So it just begins. So that tell you the level of what Graphopharmacy can do.
All right. Another message here is coming in from Mr. Olorunyomi. Okay. Olorunyomi says, it says, could Graphopharmacy help detect mental health conditions early or help in managing chronic illnesses?
Exactly. That is why we are here. Like the person I just spoke to you about now. That person will never go to hospital and has never been in hospital for the past 3 years. But by just analysis of the handwriting that I saw, they were able to come in and intervene.
All right. This is something that we need to talk about much more. So what are you guys going to be doing? Mary, in terms of spreading this gospel, what is the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria doing in that regard?
Like I said, we're creating awareness. We've already started. We're creating awareness. We want people to know. And then very soon we'll be mapping out locations where you have Graphopharmacies. Very soon. So when you type on the Graphopharmacies close to me, the name should pop up. The premises, the location will pop up. And you'll be able to access service there.
So that's something that you guys are going to be pursuing moving forward. Moving forward.
We'll be doing that.
All right. In terms of relevance of Graphopharmacy, what areas can we be talking about?
Interesting areas, like first of all, in recruitment. Like someone approached me when I talked to him about it. He's a hotelier and he wanted somebody for his front office desk. And you know, that person must be lively. That person must have this, this
people-oriented people.
Yeah,
personality.
You understand? That welcomes people, not somebody that will just be frowning when customers come in. They will just walk out. Do you understand?
Right.
So I told him to complete his tests and everything, and then he should give me the shortlisted members who had, the names of the people and their handwriting sample. And mind you, when we're taking samples, we don't take samples on ruled line.
Okay.
Yes. So I told him what to do, and when I analyzed it, I told him the best person for that job.
So as it is now, you can analyze handwritings, right? Analyze samples.
Yes.
Wow. And you can tell from those samples if this person is having one or two health conditions.
Yes, we freeze the writings, and then we have a way we analyze it. Do you understand?
Right.
And then we check for specific markers. We check the energy patterns in handwriting.
Thank you, sir.
Wow.
In addition to that, sir, as of today, If you want to do a compatibility testing about marriage today,
Right.
what you are basically looking at is, does their gene, their genetic makeup, or their blood type, does it matches? So you see the level of the defaults that is happening around the world today, and with Nigeria is not an exception. So it's not only in the blood type that we talk about compatibility. Is these people, are they compatible behaviorally?
Wow.
Are they compatible? Is these two people that are coming to join together in marriage, are they compatible? Is their character of do they have things in common?
Right.
So those are the things that we call that compatibility counseling. Those are part of the thing that
And you guys
pharmacy
can
do.
So there's a lot of relevance that this can bring.
perfectly.
So much.
Okay, I wish we can continue this conversation, but of course, time not really our friend this morning. But I must appreciate both of you. In rounding off,
Yes, sir.
Mary,
Yes, sir.
what's your parting thoughts to our listeners this morning?
What I'm saying to our listeners today, have a great day. Today is Friday. What I will say is that look out for the graphopharmacist closest to you and have your handwriting analyzed.
Great.
Your handwriting is your brain writing.
Which is very, very true. All right, then. And of course, to the man in the house, Pharmacist Oluwaseyi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. My parting word would be, about 2,000 years ago, the diagnosis in the hospitals and in health centers are basically by urine. Later, 100 years later, Emmanuel, Hippocrates, and Pythagoras come up and say, let us look at blood as well. What if we collect the blood samples of people? We'll be able to deduce the disease. And basically what they look at those times is the viscosity, the color of those blood.
Right.
But today, many diagnoses and sophisticated machines have been used in diagnosis, and I want to tell our listener in the house, this is an emerging trend. With the just such analysis of your handwriting, we can tell whether you have some health conditions.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much for being here, both of you. I must say a very big thank you to you.
for having us.
Pharmacist Obokafe Mary Ashuri. She is the president of Association of
National Secretary.
National Secretary
Association of Community Pharmacists.
Association of Community Pharmacists. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
And
sir.
Pharmacist Oluwaseyi Oluwole Charles. Thank you so much for being here too.
Thank you very much.
All right, maximum shout out going out to Dikpo Job, who is the super coach that has revealed to coach these ones. And of course, they're taking that knowledge to the next level and trying to see how that can be of great advantage to Nigeria. We're going to take a short break right now. When we return, we'll do our birthdays before we switch to our parking matters.